Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Closet Confession podcast, where confessions become connections. On today's episode, I want to talk about something that, well, I've been wanting to do it for a while, since I've been in the fitness industry for like ever. Is the body positivity movement. Because that's a lot of all these other movements like feminism and etc. They started off, with a great cause, and they ended up being just harmful and toxic. So, body positivity, it started for people that they cannot change certain things about their bodies. Let's say freckles, having, I don't know, like 4 fingers on one palm instead of five, cellulite, things that we haven't caused it to ourselves and we're not able to change them. Okay. And that's actually great because especially like back in my 20s, I know there was a lot of anorexia, bulimia. It was all like size zero. Now I feel with social media, it's more like the thicker like shape promoted. Yeah, especially with eating disorders, I think body positivity movement had actually a positive impact. The thing is, we went from one side to the other. We went from, accepting your body, things that you cannot change, to, yeah, don't do anything about your body. You're perfect the way you are. Be responsible, be passive, be a victim. I really don't know how that transition happened. What else to say about today? And when I say body positivity, right now it's more focused on fat people, or how I like to call them, lazy and victims, especially nowadays with all this information you have on the internet, all these different options, zero this, zero fat, zero sugar, you can substitute stuff. It's like being obese on today's day, I think you choose to be at this point. And don't tell me, oh, it's my thyroid. That's bullshit. Like, this victim mentality has to stop. And they get together. I've seen them on like social media, and they just love like, what's the word? Like celebrating each other's fat. What are you doing? Hyping each other. You're beautiful just the way you are. You can be healthy at any size. No, you can't. Because you cannot be fat and eat right. You cannot be fat if you eat broccoli and chicken. Okay? There's no way. And what you put in your body is going to have a massive impact, not just on how you look, on your blood work. Like, your markers are going to be all over. So all these people that tell you they can be, oh, I'm healthy, I'm fine. Yeah? Why don't you go do some blood work? Because you'll be surprised or scared. Maybe that's why you should be called bloodophobic. Because these blood markers are going to be insane. And then I understand that there's some people that are, they hold fat in specific areas, and this is something you can change. Okay, but you can lose some weight. You can still train. And another thing I want to say, they talk about self-love. Okay, yeah, you have to accept yourself the way you are. This is self-love. Really? Okay, well, we established that in order to become fat, probably don't eat right, and you probably don't exercise. When you love somebody or something, you take care of them. So how are you saying to me that you're loving yourself when you don't eat right, when you don't work out? These are self-care. That's exactly what it is. Like, if you love your car, are you not going to put the right fuel to your car? Are you not going to drive it around and just going to have it sit in the garage? No. So if you don't take care of yourself, how do you call that self-love? No, I call it self-harm, actually, because that's exactly what you're doing. And then they're trying to blame it on other people. Fatphobic this, fatphobic that. Really? There's nothing to be afraid of. Fatphobic. Phobic comes from the Greek word, again, phobia. Phobos, which means fear. I'm not afraid of you. If you're fat, no. What I'm afraid of is that you're probably gonna faster than you think, because your blood work, honey, is a crime scene. And then we go from fatphobic to body dysmorphia, because we cannot be immoderate. You got all these bodybuilders that they get on all these steroids and they have their own movement. Why can we not be in the middle? Why cannot we be healthy? Why we have to be at extreme situations? You've got somebody that doesn't move, eat like shit, and just sits there with their victim mentality. And then you have the other ones that they wait, they broccoli, they never drink because bodybuilders never drink. They wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning because otherwise you cannot work out like a human being. No, God forbid. And then they're running cycles of steroids. Neither is healthy, by the way, physically or mentally. Can we stay in the middle, please? Can we not agree that this is like the best for everyone? Work out, eat right. And the reason why I'm doing this episode is because I was watching Surrounded with Jillian, and she was in the middle, and then she got surrounded by 20 body positivity movement supporters. Oh my God, it was infuriating. Like, I do not take Xanax, but if I did, I would totally have taken after watching it. Like the fact that she had to explain to them that it's unhealthy to eat like shit and not working out. A 5-year-old knows that. And they were trying to argue that statement. Like, what? How can you argue it? Like, in what kind of world are you living? Disney World or what? Like, what kind of adult, right, can argue the fact that eating properly and working out and sleeping, it's a good thing? Oh, and that you can be healthy at any size. No. And that's like in both sides. You cannot be skinny and be healthy either. But you cannot be fat and be healthy because your fuel in order to get you that fat is not going to be healthy. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be shitty food. And usually people that eat shitty food, they don't work out. Like that goes together. So the fact that she actually had to explain to them that it's not healthy, like, what, do you want me to bring me a research? Which is common sense? Why do we eat? To fuel our body, okay? When you put fuel in your car, are you not going to stop at some point? You will, otherwise it's going to spill. Well, the same thing happens with our bodies. It's going to spill and become fat. It's extra calories. You don't need, you're not starving. You don't need those calories. Did we forget what's the primary reason for eating? Yes, it's also nice. It's guys have the taste. It's a part of our, us being humans, that we have this sense, but it's not for comfort. When you eat a bag of chips or cookies, that's not because your body needs it. It's for comfort. And that's okay to a certain extent, to a point. But when it comes to the point that, you spill and people can tell and you don't fit in regular clothes and you have to go to extra, extra large, that's when we have a problem. And I think that this body positivity movement causes more harm than support. Of course, it's easier to say, oh yeah, I don't need to do anything. It's hard to take responsibility and take actions because it requires a set of goals, okay? But what do you want? Do you want to die early? Don't you want to feel sexy? Don't you want to feel confident? Don't you want to feel beautiful and healthy and fit? And also people, by looking at you, they can create different opinions because if you look like you don't take care of yourself, what will make them think that you will take care of other things? Say you want to get hired by somebody. That shows a lot. That shows that you have no discipline, no self-control, some like really good traits we need in life. So yeah, it was really hard to watch this episode, and the arguments that they were making, they were retarded. But it just blows my mind that at this day and age, there's still people that don't know about fitness. They don't know about nutrition. Or is it that they do know, but they'd rather ignore it because it's more comfortable? And that's the sad part. And I think that Jillian did an amazing job. It looks like she cares. She was very nice. The way she was talking to them quietly, politely. And they were attacking her. Like, what? Really? Anyways, that's all I want to talk about today. If you guys have any other points, or if you think that I'm wrong, because I'm not, let me know. That's all. Please go follow my other channel, Toxic Gym Talk, which I again give you fitness and nutrition advice, but in a little bit more vulgar way, I must say. It's pretty cool, short, and fun. That's all from me. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and I'm gonna see you guys at the next one. Mwah.